But it's like you're in a relationship. Instagram is a thing. Like your partner's not going to delete their Instagram. So it's like, how do we go about this shit?
Bitch, what I was trying to say is this situation got me so wet and so dry at the same time. Exactly.
Welcome back, bitches, to another episode of So Wet, So Dry. I'm Autumn. This is Fiji. We're back. We're here. We're fucking ready. We're going to start the show how we always do, talking about what's got us so wet and so dry this week. I'll start. I am so wet just about honestly being single. I've said it in a lot of episodes, but I just love being able to like figure out who the fuck I am, not have anyone like on my back, like trying to get at me. Like I just feel like I'm in my flirty, like single and just like actually thriving era. Like it just feels great and I'm just really happy about it. So that's wet.
I love that. Like goddess energy, like I'm a bad
seriously.
bitch, siren energy, all of that.
For real. If you guys fuck with sirens, let us know. We fuck with sirens a lot.
We were going to do an episode about it, but we didn't really know what
But then we were like, are we like a sci-fi genre? I don't know.
We were like, is this too mythological?
For
We're
us.
try to relate it to like, I still think we should bring it back, maybe for an in-person episode. We literally watched like 8 YouTube videos about
it. We gotta do
night.
more research. That's the thing. Like that's a big one.
Okay, so I'm so wet about honestly not that much. This week has been a lot. It's been very stressful, lots of work, but I do have a new freelance client, so money, I guess. And then I've also been on my shit with my workout challenge. I've been doing 45-minute a day workouts, 10-minute stretch, 5 pages a day, at least 1 salad a day, and 64 ounces of water, bitch. I'm on day 10.
Love that. And honestly, like, I feel like the 1 salad a day is the way to go because it's not like eat only salad, like don't eat, but it's like just eat a salad for one of your meals.
Yes,
like it's very chill. I fuck with it.
Exactly. And you can get creative with it. Like the other day I made a caprese salad. I've had a fruit salad. Like I just fuck it up, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing that, but that's about it. Honestly, like, you know, when you're on your shit and you're focused, it feels good. But like other than that, pretty.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. No, it took a lot out of me to come up with my wet for today too. Like sometimes it be like that though. You don't always have to be so wet and so dry about shit. Like sometimes you really just do lean one way and it's fine. But in terms of dry, I'm so dry because first of all, I thought I was gonna get my hair done last Saturday. Fucking took my ass all the way to the fucking salon and they were like, nope, your appointment's next week. And they were right. So I was like, fuck. So, and I'm going to a party this weekend. I wanted to look good. Like, I don't hate my hair right now, but I just like needed that extra, like, you know, zhuzh, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like just to make me
new
like,
hair,
cause
new bitch.
I'm going to the party by myself. Like I need to have that extra confidence and that really would have helped, but like, it's fine. And I didn't tell you this, dude, but I may have invited someone to the party that was very down to go, of course, because I tried to invite mad people to this party. They're all like, I'm busy, da, 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 da. And then the best friend of my...
Okay, that's better than the...
No, not my ex, bro. He wouldn't even go to the party. Fuck him for real, but...
That's great. Okay, go on.
But yeah, so I invited him and he's like, oh, what time should I get there? Like, you feel me? Like, everyone's like, I wanted to go with this girl. I wanted to go with my friends. None of them bitches can go. So I'm like, okay, sure. And he's like, what time should I get there? I'm like, bro, are you serious?
Bro, this is what I fucking told you though, guys. I wanted to do an episode about like the roster and Autumn was like, I don't have a roster. And I'm like, bitch, you literally do. You just pick them up and put them down when you want them. And like clearly
it's kind of
like
true.
He's like at a nighttime, not in public type of guy. Like he can't
Facts. He's gotta stay like in the dark. I was like, yeah, it's like a night thing. That's what I said. Because he was like, what time is it at? I was like, late at night, bro. Late in the...
Yeah, but you don't want to pull up to that shit with him because you want to.
No, absolutely not. I told him I'm going there early.
But he's
I'm
the
free
type
gaming.
you could pull up with and dip from, like, you know, like.
And like honestly, it kind of is a wet because I was like really tripping over it. Okay, let's just like spill the tea, guys. Like, how do y'all feel about like fucking with your ex's best friend when they left you?
Did you dirty?
And it's been like 7 months since it happened. Okay,
Yeah.
like I think it's fine. And like, but I've been talking to him, and then like sometimes I'll wake up crying and be like, "Fuck, I miss my ex. Why am I doing this?" And then sometimes I'll be like, "Nah, bitch, you're so hot. You've wanted this for so long. Like, just get yours." Like, he's down. Like, for so long, I honestly didn't think he would be down. Like, the types of bitches he would bring to the house when I was around were not me. So I was like, okay. But
he's not even.
Yeah, Fiji thinks he's ugly. Looks like a fish. I think no, but you know why I think he's so hot is because this man like lived with my ex when I was there. He's heard me have sex. He's seen me in the morning time. Like, he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And like now we're finally gonna fuck.
Yeah, that sexual tension shit runs deep. Like, I
and his
fucked
music
a bunch of
is
people
good.
off here.
His music. Yeah. He was my #1 listener on. I mean,
oh,
I
that's
was
the
hit.
one.
Yes. So I think I'm gonna do it, and like if I do wake up sad the next day, like I know you'll be there to pick me up. Like I'll be fine. I blocked my ex on everything. Like I'm not interested in talking to him. I'm not. If anything, it's his like friend or no one.
I feel like what's realistically gonna happen, knowing you, is you're gonna pull up with him and be like flirting with him, and then ditch him completely, and he's gonna try to latch onto you the entire night, but you're gonna find someone else to flirt with.
Either that, or I'm gonna ghost him, and like he'll be like, "Oh, what's the addy? What's the addy?" Like da da da, because I haven't given it to him, and then I'm just like,
"What's that?"
There is no addy.
I feel like maybe go so you have a ride, but I hate like sometimes when you pull up, like even when I pull up with like Mylao or something, people think I'm
not
with him.
going
like, that's
with
my
him,
boyfriend.
Like there's no way I'm going with him.
I think it'd be kind of funny. It's giving like a comedy movie.
Like someone should be filming. Because as soon as I see him, I'm gonna be like, look, if you even mention that motherfucker's name to me one time, I don't care if you talk to him. I don't care if you want to talk to him. I don't care what he said about me.
And that's what's funny too, because I feel like at the beginning of this, like you had a crush on him and you thought he was hot or whatever, and like he was on top, like power games. You feel me? But now I feel like he is on the bottom, and you are running that shit.
Honestly, bro, I didn't even think he was gonna be down. I really didn't. But he's all like, "What time should I get there?" Like he's ready, bro.
Like, bro, it's Friday, like, afternoon. Let me relax.
I know, it was literally 9 a.m.
He's like, let's go.
I'm gonna cry, bro. Oh, my God. I'm gonna cry. But, yeah. We'll see how it goes. I'll update you guys because that's tomorrow. That shit's happening. So, I'll update you. But what's got you so dry, babe?
I'm so dry because honestly, some like dumb little shit happened. Like people are annoying and it pissed me off. And I just went into like psycho manic Fiji time. And I was like trying to chill, but then I was like, no, let me take a walk. But then I was like, no, let me have a White Claw. And it was like 3 p.m., like middle of my work day. And I just,
is that when you were sending me the voice memos and I was like, I can't listen to these? I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah. I was like, I'm going to send you crazy, angry voice memos because it's better than me directing it elsewhere.
Right. True.
So,
please. Exactly.
So I did all that. And the annoying thing is it was right after my fucking therapy appointment. And my therapy appointment was great. I was in a good mood at that point. So I feel myself teetering over the edge of being a psycho bitch, but I'm like, I have better habits now, so let me just...
Yeah, you have better habits. You know how to pull it together quicker, you know what I mean? But I think it's just worse to say, like, when a motherfucker, like, does some dumb shit, like, it's okay to be psycho for a second. Because, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but the thing is I'm not going to let anyone else see my psycho. Even like recently I got in a fight with a friend and like I don't want anyone to see my psycho because I know my psycho is too deep and I don't want to get back to that point. So I feel like I just got to control it, and I'm usually pretty good at controlling it. But I just hate when I get to that level because I'm like, this bitch, like, you know? All right, guys. So this week we're talking about the effects of social media on our dating lives. Is situationships, relationships, long-term, all of it. We're mostly talking about Instagram because that seems to be where most of the shit goes down. Twitter will play a small role. Threads, we don't really know yet. It hasn't been out long enough. And TikTok, maybe a little bit. None of us young people are on Facebook. I don't use Snapchat, so.
I saw a thread. Someone posted a thread the other day that was like, this app has been out for a week and it's already flopping. Do you think it's flopping?
I know. I was like thinking that because I went on the other day and people weren't posting as much, and I was like, damn, like I really thought this was going to be it. But I feel like part of it is the fact you can't see people's likes low key, which is kind of something we're going to talk about.
Facts. Okay. So we went to you guys on social media as usual and asked you guys what you thought about this topic and stuff. So our first question was, do you feel like social media has negatively impacted your relationships? And 62% of y'all said yes, which is sad. And then 38% said no. And I think it's true, though. I think they have negatively impacted our relationships, and it's obviously nothing is black and white. So, but 62 is like, that's a high number. Especially our following is mostly people, you know, our age range, like 22, 30, whatever. It's like, it sucks to hear. I don't like it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we've never, like, all of our relationships long-term have been with social media involved because we weren't old enough to be... Right. You know, like dating before social media came out. So it's like a key part in just our lives anyway, in our dating lives. But I would definitely say, like, I think it plays kind of a negative. I'm kind of on the fence.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on the fence.
Yeah. I think there's good things and bad things for sure. And we can totally get into that.
Yeah.
And then we asked y'all too, like, what's the worst thing your partner can do on social media? And by far, the highest answer was to reply to someone else's story. So it's like when you swipe up and like reply, like start a conversation. It's basically like sliding into the DMs, but like for some reason, when you reply to their story, it's like a little more low key because like, you're
you're not like thinking of it to just like go type in their name and send a message. It's like easier.
You're responding to something that they already posted. So 63% said when their partner replies to someone else's story, like that's the worst thing you could do on social media. 21% post pictures and revealing clothes, which SMH low-key. Liking someone's story 11%, and just liking someone's grid pic was just 5%. But I'll tell y'all, I be kind of fucking with some people right now, and one of the people on my roster, I guess, like voted that like the worst thing was like when a girl would post in revealing clothes or whatever, and I'm just like, that's sexist, though. Yeah. But you're like, I don't like when guys do it.
No, low key, like, I don't know. I feel like girls, if I'm fucking with a girl, I don't care. She can post whatever she wants. I want her to be hot. But, like, with a guy, it's not even just, I just think it's kind of cringe if they post too many, like, shirtless pictures, like, dick imprint photos.
I mean, yeah.
Like, it's just too much. And also, like, if you're my man, I don't want you to just be posting a lot of pictures of yourself in general, but
dude, I'm dying. And I feel like when we were like talking about doing this episode and shit, it's like it's really different in like queer relationships and like straight relationships. So like we'll get into that shit too. It's like if you're with a, you know, gender, whatever. So and then we asked y'all, like, have you ever had to cut someone off, like break up with someone completely because of something that happened or went down on social media? This one was super half and half, which I think is good. But basically 55% said yes, they did break up with someone over something that happened on social media. And 45% said no. And I was thinking, like, I've never done it, but I've came really close to doing it. So I can understand and, like, empathize with the people that said yes, because, like, I didn't, but I probably should have. Like, I don't know.
No, same. There was definitely some shit going on Instagram that I probably should have cut somebody off for, but didn't. So I feel like, no, I haven't, and I'd like not to.
Right.
But if they're acting crazy on the gram, then they need to be cut off.
Yeah. And then our last poll was we asked how long till you post someone, which I feel like this was such a good one because it's really like a thing and like we don't really talk about it that much. But the highest answer was people said they wait at least 3 to 6 months until they post someone. That was 48% of y'all said that. 24% said a year plus, and also 24% said never. So they never post. Also, someone I'm fucking with said that. I was like, great. And then for posting right away, that was only 4%. And honestly, y'all, I've definitely posted people right away when it comes to girls, but not in a way that I was like coming out in a relationship with them. Like I just thought we looked good and I was like, why not? You know?
Yeah.
But we weren't dating yet, but like we did eventually date.
But do you think that had an impact on like her being like, oh, she takes me really serious?
I probably think that she did. Yeah, I probably think because I even said, I was like, I know this is crazy. Like, we literally just met 3 nights ago, but like, we look really good in this picture. Like, can I post it, bro? And she was like, yeah, do it. Like, she was down, you know?
Okay, so yeah, like, I guess
it just depends.
We're both on the same page, but
right, it's pretty psycho.
I don't think I would post someone right away at all. I mean, low key, like it wasn't right away, but he was trying to post us like pretty early, and I wasn't exactly ready, but I was like, fuck it. And then it was like he took it down, put it up, took it down, put it up. So it was an early thing. And I was like, we're clearly not ready for this. So I lean more on the like, I don't know about 3 months, but I would say like 6 months plus.
Yeah, I feel like that's good. You know what I mean?
And you can soft launch. Like a soft launch is cool. Like their foot, their leg, like the back of their head, like, you know, like something like that. You don't want to post the whole them. And then I think 6 months, I'd maybe post them on my story. I don't think I'd post them on my feed till at least like longer than that.
Yeah, and it's like it's also supposed to be a good picture. I'm not just gonna post someone and be like, oh, we're together, like, let's take a coupley photo. Like, I feel like it would be some, like, in the vibe type shit. Like, that's what happened with that one girl. Like, her friend was literally like, you guys look so good. Let me take a picture. Like, it was mad spontaneous, and we were just having fun. But we happened to look, like, to this day, I'm like,
so good.
We look so good in this. And I made the caption, like, queer girls do it better. Like, we weren't, like, coupley.
So it was chill.
It was just, like,
wasn't, like, lovey. Yeah.
Right. So it just depends. But again, I feel like with a guy, that would be way different. Like, I never would do that.
No, I remember actually, like, speaking on my ex, so, like, we did post a picture, like, of us, like, pretty early. And then he, like, took it down. Because we also didn't solidify that we were, like, talking. Well, like, dating or anything like that. He was just, like, this was his, like, weird roundabout Aquarius way of being, like, we're together. So he like posted it, took it down, but I remember one time, that that our friend's house that we always used to go to and like drink at and stuff.
Of course, bitch.
So we were there one night and we took a bunch of pictures, like all of us, and I posted them on some like slide shit. And there was one picture where I was sitting and he was like over me, but it was blurry as fuck.
Yeah.
And I thought it was perfect because like we had removed the other picture because we were on the rocks, but like we were still together. So I was like, this is a nice soft launch because it's not like blurry his face. He got so fucking pissed at me. Like he was like, why'd you post that? Like da da da. That's like embarrassing. Like you're embarrassed by me. Or like he was just like mad that he thought it was like I don't know. And I was like, literally every picture we took was blurry. And honestly, I thought it was like a cool blurry. So it wasn't like a personal attack.
Point. Like he was just so insecure where it's like he should be happy that you like fucking felt good enough to even do that.
Even have a part of your body in my post. You should be
honored.
Happy.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's so fucked up. I feel like it's weird. It's all just like very case by case. But I feel like, and especially it's like when you think about it in high school, like couple posts, like it was such a thing back then. Like People would
so
take
like
them just to post them, like OD. I'm sure people still do. I just look at Instagram a lot differently than I did
yeah.
when I was in high school. Like it used to be like, now I just see right through all of the bullshit. I'm like, this is all fake. But I
I
used
see a
to,
lot of
yeah.
people from like our town, like my town, that are like married and take their engagement and wedding photos. There's a lot of
Right.
that shit.
I mean,
But go
it's
ahead.
like, if you're gonna marry someone, like, yeah, post that
Yeah,
shit. They're
post.
getting, that's when I feel like maybe it's time. Like, if you fucking tie a knot. Like, the people that say never, okay, you're never gonna post your wife? Like, what? Maybe they didn't mean wife, but I'm just like, what the fuck with that answer, bro? But anyways, so yeah, but basically today, guys, we're kind of just gonna like go in and really just talk about it. We usually like plan our episodes and like have an outline, but we're just feeling a little ranty. So we have a lot to say
Manic.
about this topic for sure. Um, and we also have some stories that you guys submitted that we're gonna share at the end. A couple of those are good and unfortunate, but interesting to think about.
So let's start it off with the age-old debate of, is it okay to like someone else's picture when you're in a relationship? What do you think?
Bro, honestly, I like you guys. I've been in like 3-ish serious relationships with women, one with a man. So just so you guys know, that's my perspective on the situation. I didn't even give a fuck what my girlfriend's pictures were liking. I didn't even know. I didn't even care. Like I did get jealous, but it was always about shit that was like in person that I saw or that they told me. I never went investigating with them and like what they were doing. But it's like when I was like dating a man, like, and again, we were in an open relationship, so it's different. He's allowed to like fucking pictures, you know what I mean? Like we set that boundary. But I just feel like at the end of the day, the bitches that get so mad about their man liking other pictures are the same girls that post those same exact type of pictures for other bitches' boyfriends to like and comment on, and then like aren't mad about that and think that's fine.
Yeah.
So I know that it's like, if you're in a relationship, I think it's one thing, like, yeah, if that's like a boundary, you don't want your man liking other girls' bikini pictures, okay, tell him. But I feel like it shouldn't necessarily be an expectation. But again, I feel like I'm just in a unique perspective on this one.
Yeah.
Because I've only been
because
with
it is
one guy.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different in queer relationships because I can't see myself. I've never dated a girl, but I can't see myself getting mad at a girl for liking other pictures because I know how girls are. Like, girls hype each other up in the comments, like each other's pictures, like reply to their stories, like on some like, I love you, you're a bad bitch, like women's solidarity shit. So I feel like I know how most women like think. So it's not that big of a deal. But I also know how most men think, which is much more just like sex. So whenever they do something, it's just like you have the like goal of sex in mind. But like, I agree. Like, I don't give a fuck if my boyfriend, someone I'm fucking with, whatever, likes a bikini picture, likes a revealing photo, like whatever. Like whoever's pictures you want. I don't really care. The only time I would give a fuck is if it's like your ex or like someone you used to fuck with. And then I don't think you should really be liking any of their pictures unless it's like you're cool with them and I'm cool with them and like it's whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think you should be, because like they're gonna look for that shit. Like, if I don't follow my ex, like whatever, but like, and like some of my exes I haven't talked to in forever, I don't care anymore. But like certain people, like it's like, you might be checking to see if they liked it. So like, I don't want to give them that validation. You feel me?
Right.
So.
And it's also like, what type of like is it though? Because low key, it's like if someone comes up on the timeline and it's like a casual double tap and keep going. But I've done shit to flirt where I like go to their profile and like all their like
guys
their, like,
do that all the time.
That's what I'm saying. That's different than just like a casual double tap on the timeline. If you specifically go to someone's profile and like all their shit, that's different.
And then it's like, how do you know unless you're like suspicious about a bitch and you've checked if your man or girl has liked their shit and they haven't, and then you check a random day and all of a sudden all their pictures are liked. I guess that's the only way to tell. But that's like, if they go through their page and like all their pictures, that's so sus because it's so like hard to tell, or like check out for it.
Yeah, no, it's honestly so bad. But I feel like liking someone's story is like kind of worse. Like it's not as bad as replying to their story, but it is a little bit more like intimate because like they're the only ones that can see it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I feel like that's definitely a flirty tactic I use as well. Like we all be doing this shit. So it's kind of hard to hide. Like, you know?
Yeah, I feel like there's like not that many like Instagram crushes or like people I'm like into right now where I can say that I like their story on some flirty shit. But like I know people be liking my stories and like I just feel like it's such an intimate thing because like you could be dating someone and they could be out here on a like liking story ship with a bitch and you would have no idea. Like they could be a fan liking every single story and you would not know unless you went through their phone. And even then you wouldn't know. How would you see it?
There's a couple. Yeah, you would never know. There's a couple of girls that I do it to and like I haven't like fucked them or anything. Like we just like flirt in the DM sometimes. Like I definitely had some like Instagram crushes for sure. So I know, and the way you just said like their story, like whatever, because it ship because it like is like it's like that's like a sort of dynamic that you're both like in tune with, but you're not necessarily doing anything about it. And it's like I'm kind of on this like more leaning towards like openness than monogamy. Like I don't want to be in a full on open relationship, but it's just like sometimes I'm like, if it makes them happy to like the story, like what the fuck ever, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very monogamous to be upset about all this shit.
Yeah, and I feel like I really like I'm rather like don't ask, don't tell. I don't want to know because it's just gonna piss me off and make me crazy. But the other thing is like if I'm fucking with you, like don't embarrass me. And if you're gonna like a bitch's story like consistently on some like you're a fan shit and like she's not engaging with you, then it's like that's embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can't control my man enough and you're just thirsting over some bitches that don't want you. So like I don't know. It's just like I really would rather not know, but it's just like I would just hope that they have decorum.
Right. And I feel like replying to the stories is definitely like the worst thing that they could do though, because that is basically like DMing them and like starting a conversation and all that. And like I said in the beginning, like it's like a more chill way to DM someone without just like full on being like, hey, what's up or whatever. So I feel like, and it's literally like gives me PTSD because like my last relationship, like with a man, like I feel like I was always like looking over his shoulder to like see what he was doing on Instagram because it was always something like bitches have OnlyFans in their fucking bios everywhere on Instagram is basically porn at some point, bro. Like, and like there's like so many TikToks and reels that I see and girlfriends will be commenting like stop, like my man's on this app because it's like for real, like it's literally porn. If
when you go to when you see their explore page, when you peek over their explore page, I'm like, let me just like jump off my balcony right now.
No, their explore pages are horrible. Their timelines are horrible. I'm like, you need to get out of my vid. I literally would say to him, like, I can see your phone. Can you please adjust? Please.
Just don't, like, I just don't want to see it. Like, keep that shit on your Pornhub or your, like, burner page or,
X
like, whatever.
Videos, babe. I'm an
like,
X
make
videos
it just
girl.
be cars and, like, music
cars,
shit and whatever.
Bro. You're so, like, that is so, no, don't say that shit.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's just.
No, I know. Like, normal shit. Like, normal shit. Like, my explore page is like nails and memes. Like, that's normal.
No, mine's all memes, like, style, fucking whatever. And people I know.
Bad bitches, too, though, for real. But I know, dude. It's really bad. And, like, even, like, a guy you're just, like, flirting with or, like, at the bar and, like, their Instagram pops up and you see some shit. It's just, like, it's everywhere. Like, it's, like, they're all just, like, because it's like my DMs be crazy, especially after a night out. Like, it is not a safe space in my DMs. Like, it's just absolutely unhinged. Like, me included. Like, me unhinged DMing other people. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. But it's like you're in a relationship. Instagram is a thing. Like, your partner's not going to delete their Instagram. So it's like, how do we go about this shit? But I also feel like Instagram has made people a lot more insecure. Because like all of these new things are being created, like reply to the story, like to the story, all this shit for you to be more insecure about. And it's just like, that really sucks because like we're not like being in our power, like caring so much about this little shit. It's like, who gives a fuck? But at the end of the day, we do. Like, you love someone and their fucking explore page is all like OnlyFans bitches. It doesn't feel good. Like,
yeah, because you can live a whole other life on social media. Like, you could literally be like one person with your bitch, and then you could like log on to your fucking Instagram at night and be like DMing hella bitches. I don't understand vanish mode too. Have you seen that?
I always do that by accident sometimes.
But what does it do? Because then if you swipe down, it's back. I'm like, what is the point of this?
I guess it's like, it's like they would just, it's stupid. I don't know. It's annoying. I do it by accident all the time. I'm like, shit, where'd the messages go?
Yeah, but I feel like it's some shit that Instagram like created to help people cheat. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to use it, but you can use it.
It's low. Instagram is low key like a porn site, and it's also like kind of a dating app, low key.
Yeah, low key. How you meet people and stuff. Like, I feel like especially now with Threads, like I've found like I've gotten a lot of new followers like from Threads and shit, and also how like Instagram shows like suggested posts in your feed now.
Yeah,
like you can get like other people and stuff too. Because sometimes I'm just like, how did people find me? But like I guess if your algorithm is like set up that way, then you can just find new people. I don't know. So just going back to replying to stories and shit real quick, I ran into this with one of my exes. I feel like we were both like toxic in our own ways. Like I would like go out when we were broken up, and he would just be thirsty as fuck on the gram, which like, okay, cool, whatever. But he would, I think because he did that, he thought I was doing that, which I didn't. So he would obsessively go through my phone thinking I was like responding to people and like crazy shit, and I wasn't. But I went through his phone like once or twice. The first time, I was appalled. I was absolutely appalled. I was like, why are you being so thirsty? These bitches clearly don't want you. Why are you responding? He's like, oh, that's my homegirl. Like, I was just hyping her up. Like, no, you can't do that. Girls can do that. Men cannot. You're not hyping up. That's not your homegirl. Like, I don't give a fuck. Stop. And then the second time, I didn't even want to see his phone, didn't even want to know, but I was tripping over him. Like we were fighting. Like it was just like our relationship, again, so toxic. And he was living with me, and I had a roommate who was like one of my best friends at the time. And she was probably just fed up with my shit of like us being so on and off because we would fight and we get crazy and da-da-da. So she took his phone and like locked us in the bathroom and was like, Fiji, we need to go through his phone. And I was like, no, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. She's like, no, we're going through his phone. So we were going through his phone. We were both drunk as fuck. Like he was drunk. Like thankfully he was like drunk enough like not to get pissed. Like he was like on the goofy level of like, what are you guys doing? Like he didn't really know. But I don't really remember like, because I remember her going through and being like, look, which is like crazy. Like to like, I feel like that was like too much.
I would have never done that.
Yeah, but like she was trying to show me shit, and I was like, I don't want to know. But I get it. Like she was trying to be like, bitch, like leave him.
Yeah.
But I literally did not want to know. And I feel like I really like how we talked about in our toxic traits episode. Like I really want to just like, ideally you're in a healthy enough relationship where it's like, I just trust you. I don't want to see it. I just trust you. We're good. Because if you do see it, it could be nothing and you look into it OD deep, which is what he would do to me. So I'm like, I want to get away from all that going through the DMs, whatever.
Yeah, and it's honestly so painful to see that shit. It's like earth shattering because it's like, and it's usually not even that deep. Like, again, it's like him messaging girls that don't even want him. Like, it's not even serious, but it's like, just to see that like firsthand, it's like your partner's like talking the same way that they do to you or whatever. Sometimes not even like they're talking better. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, I can't think of a specific example, but that shit's definitely happened to me. Like with my ex, I didn't go through his phone. Like I've gone through people's phones before, listened to our toxic traits episode. Like, but I was going through messages, not through Instagram. But I specifically was like, I'm not going through his phone ever because I know it's going to be horrible. And like, we were open, so it's fine, yada, yada. But like, we did love each other. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have like multiple main bitches. Like they were supposed to
Yeah.
just be on the side. So I just want to make sure they were, you know, clearly on the side.
On the side.
And, you know, typically it's like they're fucking medium and shit. They're not really on the side. But also, I just thought of this now because we're not on Snapchat, but a lot of the dudes still be on Snapchat, and that place is even worse.
No, Snapchat's crazy. Like I haven't had it since like early college, but like it had a resurgence. Like people use it all the time.
Right.
But I'm just like, to me, it just seems cringe just because I used it in high school and like early college.
The filters are weird also.
Yeah, and I just like the I wanted to say interface, but that sounds too much like work. But like the setup is like different. Like it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like my little sisters use that. I really do feel like I like outgrew it. Like I definitely used to use it or whatever, but like I'd way rather like Snapchat, quote unquote, someone through like the Instagram DMs and just like send pictures that way. Because I like the filters better and I like Instagram better. Like Snapchat is just like weird and chaotic and like the things go away.
Yeah, it's a whole other app, like whatever. But I was going to say too, like I feel like this is one of the toxic things about just in general what your like person does on social media. Like it, like at the end of the day, it's like them being unloyal, disloyal, like what unfaithful, whatever, and like doing the action. But like I feel like it causes you to be like one, like so insecure, but also just like you feel like you're like not enough. Like I know like for me, it would always just be like what, like one, it's like what does that bitch have that I don't, like you're not happy enough with me. But two, like I also find it disrespectful on some like ego shit where it's like you're literally making me look bad. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like those two, and that's kind of toxic too, because it's like you should just see them do that shit and be like, all right, they're not right. But you almost get an ego trip where it's like, oh, like, let me compare myself to this girl and try to be better than her. When she didn't even do anything, it was him.
Dude, like, and you and I have this conversation off camera all the time about how, like, when this shit happens and, like, your first instinct is to just shit on that girl's life and to make yourself feel better. But it's like, that is literally what men do. Like, we don't want to do that. Like, it's always the guy's fault. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's never like, so it's just frustrating. But it's like, I know. And sometimes I feel like when shit like that happens, like, I realize, like, I might not even love them as much as I thought because, like, really all it is my ego being hurt.
Yes.
And, like, me just, like really just comparing myself to whoever that girl was that they liked her story, whatever the fuck. And it's like really unhealthy. And that's why I'm like, that's why now I look at Instagram like it's all fake. Like, don't compare yourself to anyone because, like, you don't know, like, who be photoshopping, what work they had done.
Facetune,
like,
all
there's
that.
so much. So I'm just like, all these girls that, like, look like walking, like, billboards. I just try to take a step back and be like, you know what? Their life is different than mine. It's fine. Yeah.
And it does, well, and that's the fucked up thing, too, because I feel like there's one, like, the, like, your man could be, like, liking some girl's pictures or whatever, and you think she's super hot, and you're super jealous, and you start comparing yourself, and then there's other times where it's a bitch that you think doesn't really have that much going on, and then you're like, what the fuck, too? But that's also fucked up, and it's like, at the end of the day, men really like anything with a pussy, so it shouldn't really be, like, a reflection of how good of a woman you are or how good of a woman they are. It's really just their bird brains and their dicks just being like, let me go here, let me go there, like,
right, like, you know? it just so happened to be that girl. It's not because her body looks a certain way. It's not because she has this money, like, because like you said, like, they literally will just go for anyone. So it's just like random of the pickings who came up, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like you and I, like, I read so much into it because, like, I would always see my ex, like, messaging these girls with BBLs, for example. And then it got me thinking, like, damn, like, am I not good enough because I don't have a BBL? Do I need a BBL? And, like, he would tell me, like, no, like, I like that you're different. I like that you're natural. And I'm like, bro. So it was that would make me, like, so insecure and just be like, and that's the thing too, because it's like a lot of guys on Instagram be liking this one certain, like, picture perfect-esque body type. And it's like, if your girlfriend, like, doesn't post pictures like that, like, they might even be that perfect too, but it's like, they're not like that on the internet, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a weird thing. And that's the
thing too, because I feel like guys, like when you're dating someone or you're like talking to someone or whatever, or like fucking with them, they're like, oh, don't wear makeup, like you look pretty without makeup, da-da-da, all that shit, like they don't care about your body, whatever, but then their whole fucking explore page is like BBL, flat ass stomach, like big tits, like face done, like everything, and it's like, what do you mean? So it's like you look at Barbie bitches all day. It's confusing. It's like, what do you want? Like, oh, like I'm the exception, but then you're just making me feel like that boring old wife. Right. So that you can just go out here and get like your, you know, like it's so weird.
It's so weird, dude. I literally could not agree more. Like it keeps me up at night. It used to keep me up at night because that was the situation with my ex. I was just like, I don't get it. Like, if that's what you want, then go get that. Like, I'm never going to be this BBL, like, fucking baddie in the OnlyFans fucking, like, it's just not me. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, even now, like, if I started OnlyFans again, it would be artsy as hell. Like, I would be doing yoga naked and shit. Like, I'm not going to be posing on tables with, like, mad dudes around me. Like, that's not.
Yeah. Like, your vibe. Just, like, you're different. Yeah.
It's just frustrating because it's just, like, Instagram is such a, like, it's not a real world, like, and it's like, but does that, you know, kind of mean that, like, you can't make real connections with people on there? Because you can, like, you definitely can.
You can, but, like, one thing I was thinking, too, like, I had seen this, like, TikTok, and I thought it could maybe be an episode in the future, but it was about, like, cheating and stuff, and it was, like, this skit that this guy did, and this dude was, like, cheating on his girlfriend. It was a guy, and he cheated on his girlfriend with another girl, and then like came back in the car and he was like, oh, I can't wait to see my girlfriend, like I'm gonna call her right now, like I love her so much. But then it was like the girl, and it's like she was only cheating because she like he wasn't doing shit, she had feelings for someone else, like the relationship was over. And I feel like that's really what it is. Like I feel like men just are always attracted by the newest shiny object, even if they are happy in their relationship and they think that's okay, versus women mostly typically only cheat when like the relationship is falling apart, or like they're not happy, or like you're not like fulfilled, like, you know what I'm saying, dude? So it's like, is that like their biology, how they're set up? Like I don't know. There's
and
such visual creatures.
That's why it's like being bi, it's like that's what I like about being with women more, because exactly, like I feel like if, like, not to say all women, but like most women when they cheat, it's either the relationship is going south, or like she just so happened to like actually catch feelings for someone else. Like it's never on some shiny new toy shit. You know what I mean? And that's what's just so exhausting about being with men, and like the type of men that we fucking go for, I guess. And like my ex, like it was just exhausting. Like they really always want like the new thing, and like just like a new face. Like they don't even have to be that hot. Like it's just like what are we supposed
if they're
to do?
Distracted? Like I just feel like it's like, can men even really be loyal? Like let me fucking know, because I feel like it could still be a man in a happy relationship if a woman comes on to him 9 times out of 10 he's folding.
They're so weak.
Like and so
that's why, like,
weak.
And honestly, you and I know that firsthand, like being strippers, knowing how weak they are, like knowing what type of money we could make for how little we're giving them, or like how easy, you know what I mean? So it's just like being a stripper really makes your perspective on the world so much different. Because let me tell y'all, like every type of dude is up in the strip club. Like it's not just this one type we all picture. Like it's all of them. So
it's all of them.
But it's just,
and you want, when you're young and like you're a young girl or whatever, you want to believe, oh, I'm gonna find Prince Charming, we're gonna be happy, they're gonna be loyal, they're gonna just love me for me. But I swear to God, like we said, like it's literally every man, and it's like men can like control their urges and like be more whatever, but like that's why social media is scary, because it's like they can just be on this app all day and just like say they get this fucking urge, you're not around, they just be liking bitches' stories and having these whole little mini type relationships that you don't know about, you know? It's a very surface level, but it's still like an interaction where they could be cheating. So it's like, I don't know. I'd rather not don't ask, don't tell. Like, I don't want to know, but like, I also don't think I would ever get into a relationship with someone that I wasn't like pretty confident in, or at least we had an understanding, or it was an open relationship where it's like, all right, you're cool.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into posting revealing photos because we have a lot to say about this. We've already kind of talked about it on the men's side. And like I mentioned, how I feel like the same girls that get upset when their guys like revealing pictures is the same girls that post the same shit. Cause like, bitch, if there's one thing about me, like I love posting revealing photos online.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why. Like it could be an ego validation thing. I also just think it's kind of like expression, you know, like
act of feminism. It's an act of feminism.
Yeah, it's like I'm like Aphrodite out here, like, you know, type of vibe. And so it just sucks because it's like knowing that like so many guys like responded to our polls and whatever, just saying like that's their most annoying thing. But it's just like, and it's like that fear of like, oh, guys only see me as like this type of person because of how I post. But it's like that shouldn't be a fear that I have. Like that's so unfair. And it's like I honestly feel like the whole posting revealing photos is like it's sexist for them to get mad about.
No, it's so fucking stupid. I mean, I feel like posting revealing clothes is one layer of it because it's also like the whole Keke Palmer shit and even just wearing revealing clothes, like how sometimes like significant others be mad about that. And like you said, I think it's different in queer relationships because like I don't think I give a fuck about like what a girl I would date would wear or anything like that. But like,
right?
And I don't think girls usually generally do. Like maybe if you have like a more like very mask like girlfriend, like sometimes they kind of like take on more like male
toxic
qualities and
masculine.
just be like too whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, they do.
I don't get it because like to me it's like, don't you want other people to think I'm hot and you have like a bad bitch? Like wouldn't you be like proud to like show me off? And at the end of the day, if I'm yours and I'm making it clear I'm yours, then what's the fucking problem?
Right. And I feel like I've definitely had some like conversations like over time with some like relatively like healthy men like saying that exact thing and like that argument with being like I'm fine with it. Like I want people to know how hot she is or whatever. Like she's still mine and it's kind of hot. So like there are some guys out there for sure, but it's like overall general, but I know, like that's exactly how I feel too. And it's just like you repost on your story, it's like how bad is my bitch? Like this whole idea of like women posting revealing photos, like even like for OnlyFans and shit, is like it's looked so frowned upon. Like it makes people think a certain way about you and like all this stuff when it's really not a big deal. Like, I don't know if you guys know this shit, but we are not our bodies. Like we are literally souls, human beings. Like we're not our bodies. It's a fucking vessel. So it's like, I'm sorry that guys are turned on by shoulders and like some fucking revealing shit, but it's like I'm very attracted to women and I can see a revealing photo and like not fucking freak out. Like, you know what I mean?
And I was trying to explain this to like someone the other day, but I was like, when you're a woman and you experience walking down the street as a woman, being a woman in a party, being around men, you realize that no matter what the fuck you're wearing, you're still gonna get sexually harassed, bothered, da-da-da-da. So if that's the case, why the fuck not can I be out with my tits, nipples out, da-da-da, look hot because I'm gonna feel good for me? Because irregardless, men are gonna be creepy. So I might as well be naked.
Dude, that is such a good fucking point because it's true. Like, I honestly feel like every woman listening right now can relate to being like, how the fuck did I just get catcalled? Like, I'm literally hungover, looking insane. It's like, we all have that thought, which like that thought within itself is like fucked up because like, yeah, we're always bad, like whatever. Yeah. But it's so true. And it's like, exactly. And I just feel like, and so many women say this online, is like they dress for themselves, they dress for the girls, they dress for the gays. Like it's never for the men. Because we know that you guys would be down no matter what. Yeah. Like, really, that's honestly the main thing. But I just feel like overall, it is like this whole thing, posting revealing photos, is based in sexism, like point blank period. Like, I guess, is it understandable for you to want your girlfriend not to post bikini pictures? Like, personally, I feel like it's not understandable.
No.
Like, or not bikini, but like fucking lingerie type shit.
Like, I've posted shit without a top on before. Like, I think I like drew a line through my nipple or whatever. And I've posted see-through shirts. Like, is that not okay? Like, I feel like with my ex, like, he didn't want me to post, like, even if it was like certain crop tops or skirts, it was like, no, you're a whore. Like, you feel me? Which just doesn't make any sense to me, because I'm like, again, the same bitches, you're liking pictures of girls wearing this shit, but your bitch can't wear that shit. Like,
right.
and I
Make
think
it make
it's
sense.
because men know how they look at other girls on Instagram, and so they don't want other men to look at their girl like that.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, the whole cycle is just reinforced. Like, you can't be out here liking these types of pictures and then saying your girl can't post like that. That is just not, like, no.
That doesn't
makes
make any
no sense at all. But that's truly what it is, I think. Yeah, because they know firsthand, like, how they feel looking at these other pictures, and they don't want their good girl at home with no makeup to fucking do that too. And it's just honestly
because they want
sad.
multiple bitches. Most men want multiple bitches. They want a wife that's chill, and then they want the shiny new object. They want the shiny new toy, like the hoe.
But
like,
that's
whatever.
so not fair to the wife who's chill, because honestly, she's the one holding it down. Like, and it's just like beyond fucked up. But yeah, I mean, it's so different in queer relationships, and I think it's really interesting. Like, it's like, yeah, go for it. Like, as long as you're not doing anything shady, like, it literally doesn't matter at all. But when it comes to like men and women, and I think because there is such a strong discourse, you hear so many men saying, I don't want my girl posting like that. I don't want my girl posting like that. So it's just such a thing. And it's like, what do we do about it? You know what I mean? Because it's just like, if I like someone new, I get into a relationship and they're like, you can't post pictures. Like, especially like us, like, doing the podcast and like stuff like that. Like, I want to like promote to y'all that like it's okay to dress sexy. It's okay to like be free on the internet. Like, none of it's real. So why the fuck not if it makes you feel good? And it's just like, again, like, I'm like, damn, do people look at me a certain way because of how I post? Like, that's not fair.
No, I think of that too, because I'm like, we talk about sex, we talk about our old host stories, like we post and revealing shit, and it's like, I do still have in the back of my mind, because especially my ex, like when I was with him, I would have never, like, this podcast would not have happened. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do this stuff because of, it didn't. We tried and it didn't happen because of the dynamic it was. And that's what's scary, is like, I feel like these like things that men put on women that they're in relationships, like, again, just makes them like smaller and just makes them not being able to like accomplish all they want. But I hate that we also have that in the back of our mind. Like, oh, will I not be taken seriously as like a full person by men or whatever, or like be taken seriously in the relationships I want to get in because they're threatened by my ability to express my sexuality online.
Right. And they're threatened because they could never look as good online as women do. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, it's they see how like fucking powerful that lust feeling is. Like, a woman posts on Instagram and they fucking like lose their shit. Like, you know, like, that is threatening. Like, I get it, because y'all can't do shit like that. Like, y'all can't post a nude and it's hot. Like,
no, when guys, I threaded this the other day, when guys post like dick pics on their fucking close friends. What is that? And it needs to stop. Like, you guys don't have the same power as us. I'm sorry.
And honestly, it's like, when it comes to like the revealing photos and shit, it's like, I want to be on some shit where I can be posting that shit with my partner, or like they can comment and like claim it in a healthy way.
Yeah,
like,
repost it on their story. Like,
yeah, like, why can't you just like be like that? And it's just like, it's like annoying. It's like, how are we supposed to be like confident and like this and that, but we can't do this? Like, there's just so many rules that like guys put on us, like, in general. And I know it's kind of a double standard, because it's like, even you were saying like, I don't want my man to be posting like that much in general. Like, why do you want attention? And guys will clap back and be like, why are you posting
double
this
standard,
whole pic?
Yeah.
Why do you want attention?
But it's like, I feel like I say that, but it's not real. Like, I really wouldn't care if they're like an artist, like whatever, like they have to do that shit. Like, it's fine. Is it going to bother me a little bit? Yeah, but I can deal with it, you know?
Right. And I feel like it's like, we don't only post hoe pics for just attention. Like, it honestly is like, it's like a feminist thing to do. Like, when I was doing OnlyFans, like, I would post like really unhinged shit on Instagram. Like, literally would get like 10,000 views type shit, because do you remember that? Yeah. So, anyways, if you've been following me from day one, you know what I'm talking about because some of y'all definitely do. But, anyways, yeah, and men would comment and be like, this is what they do for feminism. And I'd be like, yeah, bro, honestly, it is though. Like, you don't get how empowering it is to know that, like, all these guys are going to be like judging you for how like you're looking online and you just fuck it and do it anyway. Like, it
And
feels
look and
good.
can't touch. Like, I love a look and
Yeah.
can't touch moment. And that's why I think it would be so hot to post with your significant other that you're like solidified, like, that's my man, whatever, like, no one else. And like, if we post a picture like them grabbing my ass, like grabbing my boobs, like whatever, that's hot. Like, that's like you claiming it as yours. Like, I don't know. It's like,
Right.
is that slutty? Like, can I only post it with you? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And it's like claiming it as yours is like that's like a big thing to do online too. It's like when people post, it's like then that's it. It's like everyone knows that you're like in a relationship and like I feel like that's a big deal for anyone, but I feel
Yeah.
like it's a big deal for guys too. And so it's like maybe that's why they don't want to be like in the comments on your hoe pic because they don't even want people to know that like you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like you're like not even posting your girl on Instagram and you're still telling her what she can and can't post. Like
No,
it's just
that's
insane.
crazy because it's like no one even knows besides her close friends and like whatever that you guys are together. I feel like that's the thing. Like, I mean, you could be popping out in person and whatnot, but like, and that's the
Right.
weird thing too, because I think about it, like I have like a little problem of making people like my little boyfriend for the night or whatever, but like posting them, like I would never do something like that because it just feels so much more like permanent type of thing. But I
Right.
have no problem in public acting like that with someone like for a night or whatever, you know?
Which
Like,
is interesting because you would think like it would have a bigger impact if like people saw you out and were like doing that shit. But I think it's also just because like you're drunk, you're on some like
yeah,
freeing moment shit. Like how we are online is like so like what's the word?
there's a record of it. Like you could
Yeah, but I was gonna
screenshot
say it's
it.
like we work to make ourselves look a something way like it's planned like
Yeah,
you know what I mean and it's nice that it can be that way but that's why it is so fake and I don't believe anything I see but
yeah.
it's just like we have the privilege and like the opportunity to like create an image for ourselves online so it's like that's why but it's like in real life it's like it's not like that like you do some shit and then
Well, in
whatever.
real life, it's more easier to like read. Like I could be like popping out, like I could be out and like be like on this dude, like making out with him or like whatever, which I've done before. And it's like, I feel like people would know that's not my man. You know, like this
Yeah.
is just me tonight. But it's like if you post someone that's like, you thought about it, you went through the
Right.
motions, you know the weight of it. Like that's way different.
Like you think about like the question we asked our followers and everything like when would you post your significant other it's interesting to think about the difference between like men and women and like their takes on it because it's like do men and women both not want to post for the same reason because it's like maybe that reason is you're not 100% sure in the relationship like you still want to keep your options open at least that's what we all think it means when someone doesn't post like are there other reasons like guys will like have that excuse of like oh I don't want to post because like I'm promoting my music like this is just like my art page or like this
My
is just where I
image,
do my
yeah.
music bro I remember when I was literally first dating my ex and he asked me to be in like his music video like after me seeing all these bitches shaking ass on his Instagram and he like asked me to be in his music video of course I'm like yeah sure and then I get there and there's like mad bitches. Like I thought I was gonna be the star type shit. And like I get there and there's mad bitches and like there was this one scene like this girl got a feature and like I didn't get it and I was like what the fuck and like it was fine like I'm pretty sure like she just like blew smoke into his mouth but like they basically kissed and like it's for the video whatever and so I literally like when my ex like wasn't near, I like went up to this bitch and I was like, "Hey, like just so you know, like me and him like fuck on the regular, like consistently." And she's like, "Oh, girl, like I don't want to do anything that makes you uncomfortable." I'm like, "No, no, no, it's all good. Like I just want to make sure
Like
you
that's
know."
my man.
I was on some toxic shit back then, and honestly, he would have been so pissed if I knew I was like talking to his like paid models like that. But I'm just like,
But that's
I
how
don't
it is,
care.
though, and that's why it's so hard to date like music artists or like guys with an image or whatever, because it's like you really be getting on some crazy shit because it's just like you can't control it. Like you gotta like respect it and you understand it, but it's also like you also gotta keep bitches in check. But also, it's not their fault. They're just here, maybe getting paid, maybe trying to get
They
their
didn't
image
even
out.
want him.
Yeah,
like it's not that deep.
and
like
then
it's really not that
embarrassing
deep
on you. Like
exactly. Like why do you want to be with this man? Exactly. It's embarrassing on me, but it's like yeah. Like I went through so much shit with him. Like and what he posted and like. He would like post me on his story, like some wholesome ass pictures of me smiling with like a drink or like me at the park, like literally wholesome, like 2-second videos of me just like smiling. But like that was it. And I would get so excited about it because I'd be like, thank God, like bitches be knowing that you're with someone normal and out here like loving you.
Yeah.
But it's just like, and like that was like a year later. Like that was so much later.
Same with my ex. Like he like would like I said, post it, archive it, post it, archive it. But I remember one time for my birthday he posted some shit and he was like, "Shawty fly," da, 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 da. But it was like I'm like the way you said that shit. It's like I know that's how you talk because like you are in love with me or whatever. But it's also like I could have been your homegirl with that message. Like you feel me? Like it's just like why can't you just be public with our love, bro?
Like just
why,
do it right.
Like do it correctly.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like I would not post someone unless they posted me first because that shit is just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it is hard with the image shit because like we run into that too where it's like we have this podcast where we tell our old host stories and we like post TikToks with like trending audio and like whatever. And someone could get mad about that and like think we're on some hoe shit.
Yeah.
And
I get nervous too. It's like potential people that we don't even know yet that we're going to meet. Yeah. Where it's like before it's like people know us and then we have a podcast and now we're like talking shit. But it's like people that we meet and then they see our podcast. It's like, oh shit. It's like I talk about my exes a lot on here. But it's just because I have mad like crazy stories about it and like it's like relatable and I just like
I feel like the right person though, I really want to believe that like the right person will like know me and understand me and be like, you know, I get that you do that. I get that you talk about this. This is your platform. This is your audience. What like we know we love each other and we're good. Like whatever. I don't worry about that shit. But I know it's so much easier said than done after being with artists who literally make music about like other girls or whatever. Like it does hurt and it does bother you. So it's kind of like
yeah, and I just have this other thought too, dude. Like I feel like I've heard the argument for a lot of guys being like, I don't want to post my girl because, like, it's social media. Like, I want to keep that shit separate, like, all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like they don't want to post their girl because they want to, like, keep her at home, like, locked away so, like, no one can see her or take her. But, like, they'll pull all these excuses about why you don't want to do it. But at the end of the day, like, everyone deep down knows, like, if your partner, situationship, soon-to-be partner is not posting you, like, it's just because they want to keep their options open. Exactly. I don't know any other reason what it would be.
But I've heard girls say that, too, about why they don't want to post their man because they, like, I do think it's a thing with, like, women kind of like gravitate more towards men who have been in relationships before because like they know that they like are capable of that. So I do think like girls be like looking at dudes that have been in relationships like, oh, I want him or whatever. So like I kind of get it, but I also don't because it's just like I don't think just because you post your person, oh, all of a sudden people are going to flood into their DMs trying to get at them. And like, again, you should be secure and not be worried about that. Like you should just be focused on posting them out of like love and like being proud and like whatever.
Yeah, again, but it's like you should be secure, but also it's just like I really don't think it's like that either. Yeah. Like, and that would be really fucked up if it was. Yeah. Like someone's announcing their relationship and all these bitches are flooding their DMs. Like there probably is some, but honestly, it's like we don't surround ourselves with people that like do that. Like, there's definitely been situations where I was out and drunk, and this guy was like, "Oh, I have a girlfriend." I'm like, "Oh, that turns me on."
No,
like,
my delusional crush, I I
But
want him
like
to break up
to
with this
slide
person.
into someone's DMs when you saw
Knowing-
them post, that's just fucking. You're going to hell, bro.
Yeah, like you're just trying. You're just like, oh, like they're in a relationship. They're capable of that. I'm gonna make that my man. I'm gonna steal him, like on some shit like that. Like no, I don't think there's that many bitches like that.
But honestly, like the Alabama like sorority type bitches, they might be like
and
that.
And also, I do know bitches, and like low key, I've never done this, but I maybe would on some fuck shit. Like if I had beef with a bitch. Try to take her man. I don't know. I would maybe.
But that's on some sexist shit. That's internalized shit that we need to like. That's the worst thing we could do to her is take her man. No,
it kind of is. I feel
but
like
it shouldn't be, bro.
But like, what could make a bitch hate you more?
Nothing.
I don't think there's anything like. You know, so it's like if I was really trying to hurt a girl like that I had an issue with, I feel like I would probably try to take her man. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I do get the thing about like if a guy's been in like a relationship and you like saw him in a relationship, not like a lot of relationships because that's kind of a turn off, but like like 2 good ones or whatever, like it is kind of hot because I'm like, damn, like you know how to treat a bitch right. Yeah. But again, like still wouldn't slide into
still wouldn't DMs. Be like, oh, like now I'm gonna try to get them because they've been in a relationship, like whatever.
Right. And people are hot when they're in relationships. Like when you're in love, you're like straight up glowing. Like that saying was like everyone wants you once you're taken because it's true.
It's
like,
so true. Because when you're having like good sex and you're being treated right and all of that, there's just like this like presence where you're like better, you know, like you can tell type shit. And I feel like but yeah, I really do want to be on that shit where like I mean I'm not looking for a relationship, I'm not like in anything like that with anyone right now, but like if I were, like I would be the type of person that would be very public like with my relationship and like post pictures and stuff. I wouldn't hide them once I felt like it was like secure. But like I ran into that with my ex where like he wanted us to be public too, but like was weird about it. Sometimes it would be good, like, oh, he's posting me like, oh, we're clearly together. But other times it was like a source of other issues in our relationship because then I'm on his page, but then he's also subtweeting me, like talking shit about our relationship online. And it's so crazy to me too because like I really don't do that. Like maybe once in a while I'll subtweet like some like dumb shit, like just like, you know, like you can't tell who I'm mad at and it's not direct, like whatever, like
you would never
some
know.
Angsty shit, like whatever, but like I would never make it like obvious in the way like Keke Palmer's boyfriend did, like or like my ex literally tweeted one time like, oh, my girl gives our dog more passionate kisses than me, like when we were fighting. Like he would just like he would say some like crazy shit. He would post on
in the other room. He's tweeting
in the other fucking room. He's tweeting that, and I know it's to get my attention, but I'm like, you're letting everybody else know like our drama, and like that shit is like embarrassing. And what pissed me off about the whole thing too is like meanwhile he was so toxic and abusive and I never posted anything even after we broke up. Like I've talked about it to you guys now on the podcast because I feel like at this point I'm over it. Like it's relevant to a lot of the topics we discuss. I want to connect with other people and like have like whatever, but I didn't, though I was tempted, and on my close friends story a couple times, which has like 15 people on my close friends story. But like on my public shit, I never brought our shit online, and he would always bring our shit online. So it's like that's the catch-22 where it's like if you're gonna post someone, you gotta know that like now you're bringing your relationship public, good or bad, and you gotta trust them and what they're gonna do with that.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to the whole like post, take it down, post, take it down, post, take it down, because like there was even a period of time where like you and I weren't friends and I would notice shit. I'd be like, oh my God, he's gone. Fuck yeah. And I'd be like, he's back. Fuck. And like, it was like a whole thing, but it's like, I feel like people go through that and like, that's a real thing. And like, I feel like I definitely like checked in on my exes in the sense of like, I saw they were in a relationship and then checked back in on them again. All the posts were deleted. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, they broke up, and it's just
check, because I remember when we broke up, I was like, "Why are so many people hitting me up?" But I archived the pictures, and maybe they were checking. You know, it's like people like know, and maybe it's just the type of stuff you post once you go through a breakup. But like, I've checked on some shit. Like, I know like my one delusional crush that Loki has a girlfriend, which I did kind of like slide on some like if you guys ever break up type shit. But I wasn't like, let me steal you.
And
though I'm tempted, and I feel like I could. he had archived like all his fucking pictures and he had one with her. So I was like, they broke up. But they didn't. Like he had posted like a story with her or whatever. But even still, like he's not out there like, oh, this is my bitch, like whatever. So it's like it's hard to tell. Like I feel like people be doing that on purpose because they're really just trying to keep their options open. Or they're like my ex would use it as like an, oh, like I'm mad at you thing. Like punishing you type of thing. Which is just like
so toxic. But I know in like our polls, like the people that said like they would never post their significant others, like one of those people is someone that I be flirting with and shit, and I don't want to date him, but I'm like, shit, never, bro. Like, but I honestly feel like he's not alone. Like that's a big thing, like especially with these guys. Like it's just, it's insane.
It's insane. But I honestly feel like maybe 6 to 8 months to a year is like an average normal time depending on your relationship.
Yeah, I think 3 to 6 months just because like I've been with a lot of women and it's really
with
fast.
Women it's different. Yeah,
it depends. Yeah, totally. I agree. I think that it always depends on the relationship, and like some people fall in love fast, and if it makes you feel good to post, like fucking post. Like who cares? At the end of the day, like we're posting into like a fucking void on the internet. Like none of it means anything. But it's also like what comes with posting is like people are going to know that you're dating someone. Like they're going to know more about your life. So like it is a big deal in that sense. But like if you're secure and happy in your relationship, like there shouldn't be anything wrong with you posting them. It should be fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like this is like unfortunately like a conversation that people need to have when they get into relationships. Is just like how do we navigate social media as a couple? Like it just is something because like otherwise it's going to come up along the line. Like it's gonna, oh, why'd you like this bitch's story? Oh, why'd you post that? Oh, why haven't you posted me? Like da-da-da. Like I feel like it's something that just kind of has to like be addressed. Like maybe I don't know, like I don't know when that conversation happens. I've never had that, but now that we're talking about it, I'm like there's so much there that I really feel like it should be like something that you talk about.
Like it sounds cringy as hell, but I honestly think it is necessary like in today's fucking society and shit.
Yeah, especially since so many people answered that it's literally caused them to like break up with people. Like it could be a point of like the failure of your relationship if you don't address it. So like maybe it's something to talk about.
All right, so let's get into these listener stories, comments about this whole kind of social media dating thing. This first listener said, it has me comparing myself to the girls' pics he likes and who he follows. And girl, same. Because that's the whole shit. Like, it does make you feel insecure. And there's one thing about, like, not being, like, a secure person and just being insecure. But then there's, like, things that people do to make you feel insecure. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. But it's like, yeah, if your man is constantly liking all these women that don't look like you, aren't doing the things that you do, following all of them, and it's just like, it makes you think, why are they with me then?
Yeah, how can you like not compare yourself to like other girls online? It's something we do anyway, let alone when someone like you're interested in or like you love or your significant other is involved.
Right.
Whole different level.
Right. That's why you just have to look at Instagram like differently. Like it's not reality.
And again, the right person wouldn't make you like feel that way.
No, not at all.
But the next one said, motherfucker slid up on a hose post on my birthday with heart eye emojis. And that's just, if that's not exactly what I'm fucking talking about with how these men cannot be trusted and get distracted by the shiniest new object, because it's like, you can't even take one day out of the year for your girl's birthday without being distracted by another bitch. What the fuck?
It's crazy. I asked my ex one time, like, what's the difference between, like, liking the story and then going as far to, like, send the hard eyes? Because I, like, saw him, like, send the hard eyes to someone. And he was like, it's just, like, a little extra. Like, you just want to make them feel like they look extra good, like, whatever. And that's the shit. Because I feel like guys send the hard eyes and they think, oh, I just made that bitch so happy. Sending hard eyes, what the fuck? Like, this is, like, that's not doing anything. You're not saying anything. Like, that's just like weird, and that's why it's like this blurry line with like, oh, it's fine, I just sent heart eyes. But no, like you're being creepy, honestly.
Yeah, and it's like, no, like don't, like my ex would be like, oh, like it's just I'm hyping up my homegirls again. And it's like, no, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. It's not your homegirl. Also, like,
Right.
stop. She has other people. Most girls have at least 5 guys consistently complimenting them in their DMs and on their stories. So you don't need to be one of them if you have a girlfriend.
I know.
Go away.
Point blank, period. This next listener said, I followed him on my burner accounts and found out he had a whole baby on the way and lived with said baby mom. Which, first of all, feel you with the burners. It's kind of smart when you can't trust anyone. And second of all, yeah, I mean, it's upsetting, but it's also like you dodged a bullet. Like you found out, fuck them, move on. But it's like, that's just so disgusting, honestly. Like you're living with the mother of your fucking new child and you're like hoeing on the DMs. Like, what are you doing?
And that's the thing. Like, I'm low-key, like, it's like, I don't want to advocate for stalking on social media completely because it's like, you know, you could be reading into things that aren't real, but also a situation like this, thank God they did stalk because otherwise you could have gotten emotionally invested with this person that's got a whole fucking baby on the way.
Right. Like it's kind of like that time when it's like that guy that you were seeing had a criminal record and then you like looked him up on Google. It's like it was for the best. So I feel like if maybe like for this specific person, like maybe they got some doubt about some shit that made them want to do that.
Yeah.
And then it's like for the best. So that's why, yeah, it depends. Sometimes it's okay to do shit like that because you're actually just looking out for yourself.
Well, especially in how we were talking about how people be hiding their significant other and like whatever, not posting them and shit. It's not clear. Sometimes you got to dig a little bit deep. Like I've been fucking with people before where I was like, do they have a girlfriend? Like, I don't know. And then like look into it to try to see. Like sometimes you really got to do that shit because people be sneaky. So half advocate, half be careful. And the last one was just someone said just girl drama online. And this is super broad. There can be hella girl drama between lots of shit, but I know specifically just girl drama in relationships can be like a lot. Like, and also just, you know, those DMs where you're like, hey, I just want to come to you as a woman. Or like, hey girl, I would rather be hit by a bus than get a message like that. You feel me? But some girls like turn against the girl or freak out or like come at the girl. Like, you know, like we said it before, we're guilty of it too. And it's just some of that shit, like when it goes online and then everyone sees it, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about those types of DMs. Like, I just want to come to this and tell you something. Because it's like, yeah, I guess she's doing the right thing by like owning up to it and saying like, I know your boyfriend's being shady. But also it's like, it's not your relationship to mess with. Like, I don't know. We could honestly like talk about that in another episode.
Should you tell them if?
Because that's like a huge thing. Because I'm just like, I'm honestly not sure. Like, I feel like if it's like you see her in person, maybe, but to like send that message on Instagram, like I don't know, it's just kind of a lot. And yes, I guess you're doing the right thing, but again, you're just like asserting yourself into somewhere that you weren't.
I feel like it really depends. And again, we don't have to get too much into it, but like it really depends on who it is telling you. Because some bitches just like to stir up drama and just want a reason to be like involved in your relationship or just like whatever. But like sometimes it's like, I would have rather known, you know, like if your man really was fucking a whole nother bitch, like I would rather some random girl come and tell me. So it's like, it is iffy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that could honestly be a good topic.
That
like,
could, yeah.
Or like, how do you tell them? Like, how do you go about that? Like, is there a better way than like sliding in the fucking DMs? Like, track them down.
Yeah, because that's like a message you get and your heart is literally like, oh my God.
Oh my God. It would be horrible. I know. But yeah, let us know what you guys thought about this episode. I feel like we've talked about social media and a lot in our past episodes. So I thought, we thought maybe it's good to just kind of talk about it in general and how it's changed our dating life and everything. But let us know what you thought. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, share this podcast with all of your friends that you think would like it. We have a bunch of episodes and we've said it, but I'll say it again. Fiji's coming to LA. So We're literally like 2-3 weeks away from having in-person episodes. And I'm like, it's going to be so much better.
Yes.
And we're so excited. We're over the remote fucking FaceTime live, bro. This shit's kind of annoying. It's so much easier to record.
Technical difficulties.
It's more fun. Like
Yeah.
we can like go out after. Like it's a whole thing. So we're excited. So definitely stay tuned and follow us on all social media. It's So Wet, So Dry. The O's are zeros. And our email is open always for comments, suggestions, feedback, topic ideas. SoWetSoDry@gmail.com. The O's are zeros too.
And we also have listener support. Again, guys, if you want to subscribe and just donate 99 cents, $4.99, $9.99 a month, it really helps us pay for our equipment, all of our trips, yada, yada, yada. And we will have guests on the podcast soon too. So look out for that. And I guess we will catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye. You're in a situationship with someone. Maybe there's feelings, maybe there's not, but y'all are consistently like in communication, like whether it's once a week, 3 times a week, whatever. And is it okay to ghost them? I don't